Courage is one of the most misunderstood leadership traits. We talk about it like it's loud, dramatic, heroic, but real courage rarely looks like that. Real courage looks like telling the truth when silence would be much easier. It looks like speaking up when there's actually something to lose. It looks like challenging systems that benefit from your compliance and naming harm even when it makes people uncomfortable. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's the decision that something matters much more than fear. Black leadership history is filled with truth tellers who understood this at the deepest level. In 1892, a journalist named Ida B. Wells lost 3 close friends to a lynch mob in Memphis. They were Black business owners whose success threatened a white competitor. And after their murder, Wells did something that put her own life at risk. She investigated. She used her newspaper, the Memphis Free Speech, to document the truth about lynching across the South and exposed it as a tool of racial terror and economic control. A mob destroyed her press. Her life was threatened. She was exiled from the city. And she kept going. She took her crusade to New York, to London, the White House. The cost of truth for Ida B. Wells was violence, displacement, and erasure, and she paid it because she understood that leadership wasn't about safety. It was about responsibility. That same tradition of courageous truth-telling lives on today. Luvvie Ajayi-Jones, a best-selling author and speaker, carries forward this legacy by challenging leaders to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Her framework is built around the idea that progress requires what she calls being a professional troublemaker, someone who refuses to let fear talk them out of the things that they need to do or say. And she reminds us that truth-telling is a muscle. It gets stronger with practice, because here's what history teaches us. Progress has always required a little trouble. So let's be honest about what courageous leadership costs. Speaking truth to power is rarely rewarded immediately. It can cost relationships. It can cost opportunities, status, and comfort. But silence costs more. Silence will cost you your integrity, and silence allows harm to continue unchecked. We've seen this tension play out in modern leadership too. When Colin Kaepernick took a knee during the national anthem, it wasn't a publicity move. It was an act of ethical courage, a quiet, deliberate decision to use his platform for something larger than himself. The backlash was intense. He lost his career in the NFL. And yet, the conversation that his protest sparked fundamentally reshaped how millions of people think about protest, patriotism, and accountability. And that's the paradox of courageous leadership. The people who speak first often pay the highest price, but they open the door for everyone who comes after them. So, how do we practice this kind of leadership without burning out or acting recklessly? Courageous leadership isn't about being fearless. It's about deciding that your values matter more than your comfort. And it also requires discipline, not just instinct. One tool that I come back to time and time again is a simple truth-telling check. Before you speak, ask yourself 3 questions. Do I mean it? Can I defend it? And can I say it with love? These questions slow you down, and they anchor courage and integrity. They remind you that truth-telling isn't about ego, it's about impact. It's not about tearing something down, but it is about holding yourself and others to a higher standard. And courage doesn't require a big platform. It starts wherever you have influence. In a meeting where something feels wrong and no one's saying anything about it. In a policy decision where the easy path isn't the right one. Or in a conversation that everyone else is avoiding. History teaches us time and time again, change doesn't happen because people are comfortable. It happens because someone chooses courage anyway. Ida B. Wells chose it when every institution around her demanded her silence. Luvvie Ajayi-Jones chooses it every time she challenges a room to be braver than it was when she walked in. And countless unnamed leaders in communities, in boardrooms, in classrooms choose it every single day. Your voice matters. Your position, however big or small, whatever your title may be, matters, especially when it's difficult. This is the call of courageous, conscious leadership, to speak when silence would be easier, to disrupt what harms, and to tell the truth with clarity, conviction, and care. So ask yourself, what truth are you sitting on right now? And what would change if you finally said it?